Story time about the best black bear encounter I ever had. So, as a young man, I'd leave here, Louisiana, and hunt Colorado, bow hunt, all by myself. Made quite a few trips up there by myself. Made my hunt for a week or two, and didn't really talk to nobody until it was over with. Well, on one of these hunts, I go. This was the Glade area near V Rock, in southwest corner, and done me a couple days hunt. Maybe changed positions one time, I think, and hunted that area. Didn't see much of nothing. Well, I come across two guys, and that evening they come to the camp and hung out with me, or my truck and tent anyway, hung out with me at the campfire. And they went on and on about bears, how many bears they were seeing. I ain't looking for bears, I'm looking for elk. So I'd maybe seen one or two, but it hadn't tripped the trigger. Well, they went on and on about it, how many they were running into. Well, I had never packed a pistol with me. I'd take it with me in the truck, just as a travel gun, but never carried it on the hunt. I had a bow, what I needed a gun for. So the next morning I wake up and their words kept ringing in my mind about the bears. So I decided, well, I'll strap it on. I had a Black Hawk 44 in a holster, strapped it on. Get out there and get ready to leave, and it's pretty cold, so I threw a pair of coveralls on too. I make my morning hunt. Sometime late morning I come across a water hole, mostly dry, mud into the bottom of it. And a lot of the water holes up there have a pretty sharp, steep edge where the cows wallow it off over time. And so I sat down right on the bank of that drop off into the mud. Ain't nothing but slop mud and a little bit of water out there. I'm sitting on the ground. Well, I hear a click after a few minutes. Turn around and look, and it's a camp robber. Pay no attention to him. Hoping it's elk or deer coming out of one corner or another. Here another, and over here, and look. Same thing, camp robber. Next time I hear it behind me, I don't even pay attention to it. I know it's a camp robber. Until I heard a stick break under weight, and it was right behind me. Ooh, gotta be an elk. I got the release on the bow, and I start turning real easy. When I finally get faced away, just enough to see a wall of cinnamon black. There was a black bear about from here to that door behind me, about 5 feet. And my reaction was to jump up and point that bow at that bear. As I pulled the pistol, with that release on my hand, I went into the cargo pockets, because the coveralls were over my gun, fished it out of the holster, cocked it, and pointed it at that bear's face. I did that as fast as Wyatt Earp could have done a normal draw. It was quick. But in the process, I screamed like a little girl. Hey, bear! Bear! You don't scream at a bear. First lesson, you talk firm to them. Good, loud, deep voice, but don't scream at them. Well, either way, this bear took this as a challenge, and he just kind of rocked up on 1 foot in the air, 3 feet on the ground, and went to clacking his teeth and grunting deep. And at 5 feet, and the pistol halfway between the two of us, I had nowhere to go. I couldn't go into the mud behind me. Neither direction was a good option. I'd have to step up on the bank, and me standing up, I was about head high with his leaned up posture. So I had nothing I could do. But I did realize that screaming at him wasn't the right thing to do. And raising that bow up high kind of made me big. Maybe stopped him from making that first jump. So I decided to go back to the firm talk. I lowered that gun, I pointed it between his feet, lowered the bow at the same time. And I talked to that bear just like this voice right here. Look, bear, I don't want to shoot you, but if you come at me, I'm going to empty this gun. I'm going to take you with me. All of a sudden, I saw the hair on his back kind of lay down. His muscles in his shoulders relax a little bit, and the attitude in his eyes changed. And instantaneously, he moved and was gone. 30 yards, it's incredible how fast a black bear can move. But he was 30 yards over there in a quarter of a second. And when he did that, that adrenaline rush had already hit me and flushed right then. And I literally couldn't stand up. I fell to my knees. And I never took that pistol off of him, pretty close. But watching him then walk the next 100 yards, he'd look back at me every once in a while, and I never took my eyes off him. And we were both thinking the same thing. We don't know. He didn't know, and I didn't know. We don't know who would have won that fight, but it was likely that both of us would have lost. The only teaching experience to garner from it is you talk firm to a black bear. You don't scream at them. And trust your instincts. If you're a reasonably skilled outdoorsman, you can cope with anything. Just follow your instincts.